When you demonstrate quote to cash beginning in Business Central from the Partner Sales Playbook, it's important to recognize and emphasize to your customers that we are processing quote to cash all within Microsoft Outlook. Also, when you import or go to add the line items, make sure you recognize and highlight the auto suggest. And then of course, this does demonstrate the very tight integration between Microsoft Outlook and Business Central. Good luck in that demo.
One of the simple ways in which we see the blending of productivity tools and business processes of Dynamics 365 Business Central is through Microsoft Outlook. Dynamics 365 Business Central extends Outlook to include extremely rich information that includes financial information and enables users to easily interact with customers, vendors, and items. In this scenario, I'll show you how to enter in a sales quote, send that quote via email, convert the invoice, post the invoice, and convert the cash, all while never leaving Microsoft Outlook. So the first step is to enter in the sales quote. So in the scenario, imagine you get a customer request for a quote, and that customer request comes in via email, and they want pricing information for two items. You've got a London swivel chair and the Antwerp conference table. Typically, in this process, what has to happen? You've got to minimize Outlook. You've got to open up the business application, your CRM system, your ERP system, and then you need to go log in, find the customer, and then enter the appropriate information. With Business Central and the tight integration to Outlook, simply selecting on the Contact Insights in the ribbon, you'll see that it opens up a rich amount of data and information. Oh, before creating the document or the transaction, it's really important to me as a salesperson to see information before I interact with that customer. So for example, I've got my statistics that are coming through from Dynamics 365 for sales. So now I have visibility into things like opportunities, quotes, as well as cases. You see here when I click onto the cases, I see that I've got two existing cases happening with that customer. As well, the tiles are live, so if I wanted to look at open sales invoices, I can drill in and get into the details of each one of those invoices. Now the process here begins, let me enter in the new quote. So up at the top, I select on the plus sign. Since it's a customer, it recognizes that it only surfaces those menu options that I would for a customer. So I'll select sales quote. And wow, look what happens. Not only does it recognize the customer in Outlook, but also recognizes the body of the email, and it auto suggests the line items and the quantity for me. I'll select OK. And just to show this, you've got a sales order now. You see sales QU01004. Let's minimize Outlook just to show you the instant access and the immediacy of this interaction. I'm in Business Central in my list view of sales quotes, and you see that quote 1004 is there as well. Again, just showing you how the lines of productivity tools and business applications are blurring. The next step is I'm going to send this via email. So back in the Outlook client, I'll select the ellipsis on the right, choose to send by email. Before I send this, I want to make sure I review it for accuracy. Looks good, very professionally looking document. I'll close that out. The third step is to convert to invoice. So again, I've got the quote, the customer agrees to the terms. From Outlook, I'll select the ellipsis and I'll convert this to a sales invoice. Make sure that I do want to do this, yes. And again, I'm going to toggle or switch apps, leave Outlook, return to Business Central, and notice that I have that sales invoice that I just created for $2,600 for a datum. I'll open that up. And again, here you see the sales invoice. Next, I need to post that. Again, I'm going to return back into Outlook where I can post the sales invoice as well. So from the ellipsis, I could either post, which will just take care of the business transaction, or if I want to send that invoice to expedite payment, I'll select post and send. Again, I'll review the posted sales invoice. looks good, and I'll email that over to my contact, Robert Towns. And then the last step would be to take this invoice and convert that to cash. So if I'm back into Business Central, I take on the terms here. I'll open up cash receipt journals. I'll open up my batch called General. I'll put in that amount for the $2,700, and then I'll tie this back to the determine which document that this applies to for the cash receipt. Here it is for sales invoice ending in 25. I'll select OK. I'll preview the posting, and then I'm done. So again, integration to Microsoft productivity tools is essential to so many companies that rely on these tools to run their business. And for us to extend Business Central into that experience helps to reduce the initial learning of a new system, but also significantly reduces the time in data entry.